Hi, my name is Darren. I am the co-founder of P4P, and we are pretty much the leading electronic portfolio of evidence and electronic assessment platform. And the reason why I say that is there's some very interesting discussions going on at the moment around the learning development space, and everyone is asking for e-portfolios. Now, many LMSs out there are good and they have the opportunity for you to upload a document into a folder of some kind. And that in and of itself could be construed as an e-portfolio. The challenge is that over the past 6 years, as we've been pioneering this e-P.O.E space, with a lot of blood, sweat and tears and scars to prove it, is that e-portfolios are not as simple as just dropping them into a Dropbox folder or a OneDrive folder for someone to access. They're actually part of an entire ecosystem. So your e-portfolio is the evidence that's attached to an electronic assessment process. And the electronic assessment process starts off with a learner doing a pre-declaration or the agreement to be assessed, followed by either learning in a formative or summative space, building portfolios in those spaces assigned to an assessor who will analyze those. Those then get stored in an e-P.O.E platform where the specific assessor has access to it, not just anyone, and where those cannot then be removed or tampered with unless the assessor and the other role players kind of are aware of it. That e-P.O.E kind of folder then needs all the evidence of a normal portfolio of evidence. So it also needs your legislative requirements, followed by your kind of assessment requirements, followed by your post-assessment requirements. That all wraps up. Now, e-P.O.E systems at the moment are kind of springing up everywhere because all of a sudden CETAs are asking for it. What you need to consider is, what about the experience of going live with an e-P.O.E system so it works? Naming conventions. If you fix the naming conventions, what happens then? If you don't fix naming conventions, what happens then? How do the users use the e-P.O.E system? How do the assessors use it? Because, people talk about ticks and signatures, and how does that work? So in P4P, this is what we focused on. This is what our niche has been, and that's why we overlay e-learning platforms and LMSs out there, because they're great. They do what they do, but they don't do the single function well of the e-assessment and e-portfolio. That's what we do, so we enable that. To go and build it it's a big cost and a big nightmare because of changing the people's behavior to achieve it. That's where our skills lie. After that, the assessment, you go into the administration, their access to the e-P.O.E folder, to the assessment criteria, then you have the internal moderator, their access to the e-P.O.E folder, to the batch of learners, to this and that. Then you've got your external verifier and their access to the moderation, to the assessment report, etc. And now if you go the QCTO route, it's the ASA, the AQP's access to. So everything that you're doing in the e-P.O.E, if it's built on the normal basis of it belongs to a company, it's going to fall down because there's many companies involved in the process. That's why we've created it attached to an individual with their successes going with them, with their achievement going with them, and it goes into a far bigger process. That's kind of the start of the discussion I'm going to be having around this thing called an e-P.O.E. Let me know what you think, and let's carry on the chat. Ciao.